walk us through those steps. So the surgery, obviously it's surgery, and you walk through that process, and we don't need to get into that because that's what the rest of the podcast is for.
It was worth it.
But now you're done and everything. So walk us through, give us an update how things have changed.
Oh, absolutely. I as moving forward, I was able to build more confidence in myself. I was able to, just feel more beautiful internally, and that obviously shined outward. I'm not afraid to talk. Maybe sometimes I talk too much.
No, this is your platform here.
And then, I kind of shot for things that seemed like a long shot, and I just wasn't afraid to go for it. My husband and I started a business, and we put all our eggs in there, and we dedicate our lives into helping others, and it has been a huge success.
What is the business? What do you guys do?
We own Sunshine Serenity House. It's
Wow.
It's a sober living facility that helps men and women that are coming out of treatment to recover from drugs and alcohol.
Okay, wow, that's
Yeah.
that's a big undertaking.
It's been very fulfilling. We have a really great group of guys right now that, I help them get food stamps. I help them, get a job and build a resume and build their self-confidence. And we just love them until they love themselves.
Wow.
And I feel that I would not have been able to do that until I loved myself.
Yeah.
And it has been terrifying in a little bit because we purchased a house and
Business is terrifying.
It is. But the rewards have been overflowing, where we're able to, help these people and to give them the love and to give them the security of a safe place. And again, I can't reiterate that enough. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I wasn't internally okay. And I did so much work on myself, with meditation and prayer and connecting to my higher power and do all that. And I gotta tell you, and I don't want to sound vain, but the chompers were the ice on the cake, and it really catapulted me, into a dimension of a life beyond my wildest dreams. So
yeah, like you've done a good job characterizing it, because it's not about what we see. Right. And of course, there's judgments that happen on all of that with any human being. In any room you go into, there's going to be some jerk or whatever. But ultimately, it comes down to like how you see you. And that's how you go forward.
It's an inside job. And for the longest time, I really didn't understand that. But I'm happy. I pray and I do the right thing. I do the next right thing. But, I'm a big advocate of doing whatever makes you feel sunshine on the inside, right? And to follow that and do that. And, I've come along during my course of my life. I've come along people that you guys don't know me from Adam, right? We're strangers, and you guys poured into me, knowing that this was going to be, this is it. This is going to be it, and trusting you, complete strangers, is kind of what I'm doing today. I have these complete strangers that are trusting my husband and I, and that we're gonna, love them and give them the way. And you guys knew a solution until, more than just the physical part. It was way deeper than that for me personally. So
I just made a random connection. So I had an uncle, and he would take the wildest trash you've ever seen and to things that we would throw away, and he would either weld them or build things out of them. And like, just as an example, he did he used to take the 2-liter bottles, and he'd spray paint them and cut them with a hot knife and all of that, and turn them into those fish that hang in retirement mobile home kind of community, right? Turning kind of trash into whatever, glitter and all that stuff with eyes and all. And what you were just saying about pouring into, and what hit me, what I was thinking about as you were saying that, is maybe one of the big reasons why we don't feel like we pass judgment is because we see that 2-liter already looks like a fish, right? You give me a green one, I already know what colors I'm using. Piece of wood, right? We'll say all the time that I like woodworking. just because a piece of wood is not what you're going to turn into art does not mean that I can't already see it. I don't even care what it looks like.
Broken crayon, still color.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I, you know, I felt so broken. I just felt so broken, visually and internally. And you know, it was just an incredible feeling to know that there was obviously a solution, but I had no idea that the solution was going to turn me into the woman that I am today, you know.
What was the solution? I forget, but what was the solution from the other dentist that you had talked about? What were you going to end up doing?
We were going to rip the rest of the remnants that I had in out, and we were going to do...
Please, stop using
bad.
the term rip.
Very aggressive.
We were going to...
Gently remove
the rest that was left, and we were going to do dentures, top and bottoms.
Okay.
And, you know, I was already researching on the best, you know, glue, and I accepted my fate. And it was really just a matter of taking the leap, you know. And like you had mentioned before, I did not know anything about what you have created and what your organization does. And I knew nothing about it. And it just seemed like, why isn't everybody doing this? Like, it's just a better. So that's way better. I don't want to have to take them in and out and have to deal with that. And, you know,
the longevity changes.
I'll laugh so hard they'll come flying out. Like,
right. That's the problem. It's harder on the bone.
Yeah.
It doesn't preserve anything. You kind of whittle away to nothing. And so this is a huge benefit and alternative. And we've talked about before. It's not out there in the public. Like for us, it's a day-to-day, this is all we do, right? But for us, our reality is this is the only thing that ever happens. But truth is that the public doesn't even know. I mean, I've said it before. I've played golf for a long time, and I meet random people, and they always ask me what I do, and I kind of give them a 2-minute answer, and they have no, at best, they may know the big name that is the number one sort of chain one out there at best, but don't even know what that really is. And it's pretty wild that that's the case, you know? We all know what a crown is. We all pretty much know what a dental implant is. That one last step is the world knowing that this is even an option.
It seemed too good to be true, you know, when I was sitting in the office and you delicately explained what we were going to be doing and what was going to happen. I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is it. You know, like, and, you know, I'm not afraid to, they're like, oh my God, your teeth are so great. And at the beginning I was just like, oh, thank you. You know, I was owning them because they're mine now. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, you got to meet the people that did my teeth. They're fantastic. And I encourage you got all your teeth. Don't worry about it. These are better, you know, just go. So like, I try to be a billboard and, you know, it's just an incredible, you know, you guys are doing God's work. It's really amazing.
We thank you.